Let's face it, staying sexually pure or giving up sex for your relationship with God is not an easy thing to do, especially if you have already been involved in sexual relationships and then you give your heart to God and now you have to make the decision that you need to stay sexually pure to continue to maintain your relationship with God until such time. Hi everybody, my name is Netisha Alie-Grant. Welcome back to another video from me. If this is the first one, please scroll through the list and see so many others as I speak on various topics on Christian personal development and inspiration. I also want to just help people to see that God is part of the equation when it comes to your life, and having that personal relationship with Him makes all the difference. In this video, I'm going to be talking about dealing with sexual temptations and maintaining sexual purity because of your relationship with God. Let's face it, a lot of people do not give their hearts to God because giving up sex is very difficult for them to do. Some people give their hearts to God and they still struggle with sexual temptation. So I'm going to share with you 3 tips on how you can help to manage sexual temptation if you would just be real with yourself and identify that, hey, I have a struggle. I want to grow in my relationship with God, but I have a struggle in this area and I need help. So tip number 1 is stay away. Stay away from this person that you're attracted to, even if the person is your boyfriend or girlfriend, as long as you're not yet married, even as long as you gave your heart to God. The time for you to stay away starts in this sense. Stay away from places and environments that allow sex to feel comfortable and inviting. For example, don't go over and be the only 2 people in the house. Hey, you're attracted to this person. Come on. Or don't sleep over. Or don't go in cozy places. Put on some love songs and set the tone and expect to fight the battle after you have invited a war. So what does that mean? When you stay away, you are establishing discipline and self-control. Galatians 5:22-23 speaks about the fruits of the Spirit of God. So once you give your heart to God, the fruits of the Spirit of God are already in you. You become a part of it, it becomes a part of you. And so one of these fruits is called self-control. God gives us self-control. I know, trust me. If I didn't have the self-control of God, there would be so many things that my flesh would take over. There would be so many circumstances that my flesh would take over. And I just want to make it clear, I had to maintain a sexually pure relationship before I got married to my husband for 22 months. So the first one is to stay away, to establish discipline and self-control. Avoid dates and meeting in places that make sex easy, such as bedrooms or cozy, funny nights date places, Netflix and chills. Avoid those altogether. If you know that you do not have the discipline, please don't. And even if you do have the discipline, you don't need to stretch yourself so thin and create an environment for the enemy to play with. The scripture says, do not give place to the enemy. So what's number 1? Stay away and avoid cozy, sexually stimulating places for your dates and your meetings. The second one is pray. That really should be the first thing, but the second thing is to pray. I'm a woman of prayer. I live this life through prayer. Prayer gives you access into the spiritual realm, into forces and powers through the grace and the power of God. So you could never discredit prayer. And I am telling you, prayer is what works. And one of the things that I had to do was say, Lord, please take away this desire from me until we're married. Just, let me use this energy into something else for you, for your glory. So you pray and you ask God to take away the desire or make it dormant until you're married and allow you to focus on putting that energy on working for Him. And trust and believe that God can answer that prayer. He did it for me and He can do it for you. Can we just be real? If you ask, He says, you will receive. So don't just say, Lord, take away. No. Take it away until. Be very specific. He said, write the vision and make it plain in Habakkuk 2, verse 2. Make it plain and be specific with God. Don't be like, God, just take it away and be all religious. Until such time, I need you to strengthen me with self-control and take away this desire for sex, this fixture on sex, and let me just focus on building my relationship with you, praying, and to establish other things. And one of the things you're doing when you do that is you're setting the relationship at a place for clarity. You're setting the relationship at a place where God can now speak to you, and you are not distracted through sexual connections with this person, whether it's because you meet this person for the first time or you were already intimate but you're taking that break, sort of fasting from sex. It brings so much clarity. It gives you the opportunity to speak about topics like finances. What are our finances like? What are our financial goals? It gives you opportunities to speak about your health. You know, what are we going to eat? Are we going to be vegans like God intended for us to do in Genesis? Or are we going to just be porkies and eat a bunch of stuff? You know, how many children are we going to have? It gives you the opportunity to examine other aspects of the relationship without the cloudiness of sex. And then you can really see if you are compatible as a partner or if the two of you are just sexual interests. Marriage is a very serious thing, and I can talk more about that. I do have a video called Before You Say I Do that you should check out for some more tips. But just use the opportunity to put sex on the side and think, okay, what are some other areas, or health, or finances, the relationship on a whole, our love languages, what we like, what we do not like, you know, our personal development, what do you do for fun, our family, our belief system, how much do you believe and trust God versus me, what all the other 21 or 99 and 1 questions that you can ask for clarity when the sexual interest is not at bay. I'm sweating here, but we're going to do this today. The next and the third tip is use a third wheel. Yeah, I said it. Use a third wheel. Accountability partner. You can call them that. So a third wheel / an accountability partner. So for example, again, it goes back to point number 1. Let's say you want to be in an environment where you want to do a nice date and stuff. Bring someone else along. Bring a best friend around, maybe not best friends, let's talk about that another thing. But bring someone around the both of you that you can trust to keep you accountable, that will allow you to flow and have, you know, a different perspective even, but it has to be someone you trust and probably prayed about, just so that you know, okay, we all know that God is watching us all the time, but sometimes we still engage in activities as if He was not. But when you have that physical third person, that physical third wheel with you, if you are going to hide from this person, you're hiding from God too. So have a third wheel, have someone else around. Let's say you're living together, maybe you need to have someone else living in the house as well, so you guys don't get tempted. And even if you do, you are able to push past that because you have someone to be accountable to in the relationship. So these are my 3 tips so far. I'm sure there could be others that I just wanted to pop in and share this with persons who may be struggling with sexual temptations. You might be in a relationship, you may not be in one yet. If you're not in one and you're absolutely single, it might be a bit easier, but you still have to avoid places and going on dates with persons that you may be physically attracted to. The enemy has subtle ways of slipping in and saying, it's okay, it's just a kiss, it's just a hug, let's just do that. And then it moves on to something else. Self-control and discipline and prayer and trusting and believing in God and focusing on the vision and the direction you really want to go in your life will help you to deal with sexual temptation. It's not easy. It's a struggle for many people. But if you try these 3 tips, stay away, avoid the comfortable, sexy places. 2, pray. Pray. Every minute, pray. If you have to speak in tongues, speak in tongues. And the third one, have an accountability partner to keep you in check. It always helps to have someone looking over you and mentoring you and guiding you and just reminding you, hey, you're on a vision of sexual purity and you want to stay celibate until marriage. This is how it can be done. If you open that door, The guilt trips are going to come in. You may not want to be a part of your church because you feel guilty when you come to church. And that's just the Spirit of God convicting you that you have broken your bond. And one of the main reasons why it's so important to be able to control not having sex until such time, it gives you, again, clarity in the relationship to think about other things. And it also gives you discipline. What if your partner has to travel for 6 months at a time? I've known of a married couple where they had to be away from each other 6 months on end. What if someone, God forbid, gets sick for a few months? How are you going to manage it? Men, being sexually pure is powerful. Women, being sexually pure keeps you clean. And if you choose not to, just remember, you're inviting spirits that could corrupt your walk with God entirely and open doors that you do not want to open. Thank you so much for watching. Share this with someone. And if you need some extra prayer or some extra tips and some extra guidance on dealing with sexual immorality or sexual temptation, leave me a comment and just shoot a message and let me know. I need some more prayers in this. Give me some more tips in this, or an accountability partner in this. Whatever you need, leave it in the comments. And if you also have other things that can be done aside from the 3 that I've shared, please feel free. Share it so someone else who's going to watch this video can check the comments and see your tips. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.